Musician, the most important question is this: how do you handle mornings? Because you're either setting yourself up for failure or for success, for real. And if you haven't seen my earlier video about changing your relationship with time, that's the Artist Playbook Part 1. I'd recommend you go and watch that one first. It'll help you get a lot more out of this one, I promise. But of course, it's your call. Hi, I'm Angela Beeching. I help musicians get more of their best work out into the world so they can finally become the artists they are meant to be. And let me come clean here. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I have no business doing that. Nobody has any business telling you how to live your life. But I am here to tell you the truth about what I've learned helps musicians deal with fear, ambitious goals, resistance, and time. When musicians come to me saying that they're having trouble getting themselves to do their most important work, the first thing we talk about is having a morning routine. To illustrate this, let me tell you a story. This happened many years ago when I was just starting out wanting to write what would become the first edition of my book, Beyond Talent. I had a contract with Oxford University Press, and they'd given me a year to deliver the completed manuscript. And I thought that would give me plenty of time. I was clueless about how long it would actually take. And at the time, I had a very busy day job at New England Conservatory running the Career Center there. I imagined I'd do my job during the day and go home and do an hour or two of writing, and then I'd have all weekend. Well, I soon learned that plan was a joke because I came home Monday through Friday exhausted. I'd have dinner, and then half the time I would just crash. I didn't have the bandwidth to focus the way I needed to. And after a full day of worrying about everybody else's needs, I was too depleted. Even weekends were packed with errands and catching up with friends, so writing still wasn't happening. Finally, I realized the only way I was going to meet my deadline was if I got up early to write in the morning before I went to work. Now, I'm not a morning person. I am not pleasant in the morning. You don't want to have a conversation with me first thing in the day. But what I found is my brain is much more clear in the morning, even if I was just coming out of the fog of sleep and only half awake. That was when I could fully focus on the writing. What I learned was that this precious post-sleep time is actually golden for creative thinking because we have a greater access to our unconscious. The early morning sessions made finishing the book possible. I got myself to get up at 5 a.m. I'd write for an hour and a half, and then I'd take a walk with my friend Flory. After that, I'd get cleaned up, eat, and leave for work. And here's the amazing thing. Even though it was unpleasant, even though I had to go to bed early every night in order to get up early enough to do this, I still found that after I did my morning writing and took that walk, that this routine left me feeling ready to tackle the rest of the day. It actually made the rest of the day feel easy because I had invested in my own creative work first. I find that when musicians can do an initial warm-up session in the morning, it makes the rest of the day much better. You've started the day by investing in your own artistic growth, and that changes everything. I've always told this story to my clients because even though you may think you can't become a morning person, when things are tough and there's no other time to do your creative work, or this is the only time that you're going to have the peace and bandwidth to do your work, you just may find it's magical. The real point of doing work in the morning is to demonstrate to your shadow and to yourself that you're committed to and are prioritizing your creative work. When this becomes a habit, it's easier for your shadow and your inspiration to show up because you're there doing the work as expected. This means your odds of tipping into the flow state also go up. I've found that even short morning warm-up sessions, when done consistently, can prime the pump for additional work later in the day. First thing in the morning, before your brain is cluttered with outside noise, is when you have the clearest access to your creative unconscious. And as the creative unconscious is the source of artistry, you can't afford to squander your access to it. Whether or not you're a morning person and whether or not you can do your creative work first thing in the day, you still need to learn how to manage your time and attention because these are the most valuable assets you have. So let's talk about what's standing in your way. It's not your lack of discipline. It's not your to-do list. It's using your phone as an alarm clock because it's got you addicted to distraction. I tell my clients, go buy yourself an old-fashioned alarm clock and turn your phone off and set it to charge in another room. I know all this may sound extreme, but you can't reach your potential if you've shut down access to your unconscious. The first hit of email or news or social feeds is the first hit of the day feeding your addiction to distraction. When you wake up and the first thing you do is check your messages, this sets you up to constantly interrupt your own train of thought throughout the day by reaching for your phone. But if instead you start each morning from a clear and free state of mind, you have a much better chance of slipping into the flow state. Don't believe me? Try it for a week and see what happens. If you absolutely cannot practice or compose first thing in the morning, use that early time to read scores or inspirational literature. If the problem is that you might wake up family members or neighbors, try silent practice using a practice mute or a keyboard with headphones. But here's the thing. If you're used to staying up late, binge watching your favorite series or scrolling your social feeds, if you're used to staying up late, you can't suddenly start waking up at 5 a.m. You're going to have to change your sleep window gradually to make sure you can actually adjust to this. Having participated in an online sleep program, I know this firsthand. You're going to have to go to bed 15 minutes earlier and do that for a week before adding another 15 minutes. The idea is to, over several months, be able to regularly wake up earlier than the rest of your household so you can focus on your own priority projects. This is a matter of commitment. For me, I was committed to writing a book and fulfilling a contract. For you, how committed are you to your own artistic growth? I've known musicians who said they couldn't give up checking messages first thing in the morning. My response is always this. The alarming news and your social feeds and texts will all be there waiting for you. You can choose to check them after you shower, right? My challenge for you is to try getting up every morning for a week without reaching for your phone. Instead, try starting the day with some form of creative work. See for yourself what it feels like to connect with your music without first filling your mind with alarming news, celebrity gossip, and the endless texts, emails, and to-do list items. We're looking for a way for you to reignite your creative imagination. If you do this first thing in the day, you are reminding yourself that you have a gift and you are working to bring that forth into the world. You showed up for this video, that's a great start. If you're ready to move further ahead, watch the next one in this series on building a better week. If this was helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you know another musician who could use this, please pass it along. We're all in this together. See you next time.